Hello, everybody. Right now, we have with us Jeet Joshi, part of the Voice of the Young series. Let's listen to him. Over to you, Jeet.
Hello. First of all, thank you so much for this opportunity, Professor Mathur. I'm Jeet. I'm Jeet Joshi. I'm studying currently in University of Sydney, doing my master's in economics. I would describe myself as an economics student because that's a broad tag which we will carry forever. So starting with my story, I would just like to give a brief background of myself first, and then I can move towards the story and journey part of it. So I began my economics study from Gokhale Institute of Politics and Economics in Pune. So it was also an accident which I would which was not a part of the plan, but I would tell more about it in the journey part. I completed my 3 years Bachelor of Science in Economics from there, and then on I moved to University of Sydney for doing the Masters in Economics and Financial Economics. Currently, I'm in my final semester and would finish in around 3-4 months, and then would be beginning my career journey and a professional journey, whatever we can call it. So that's my brief background of right now. So beginning with my journey, I would like to just because this is not a topic we are all very familiar to speak about, because I just speak about yourself. So it's not we get this chance so often. So thanks to Professor for giving us this chance. So I would like to begin the story from my very childhood. So I was born and brought up in Banswara. It's a small town in Rajasthan. It's on southernmost tip of Rajasthan, bordering with Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat in India. So it's a cultural or language or food. Everything is a mix of all three states. So I grew in that region. I lived there for until 18 years of age. I completed my schooling in New Look Senior Secondary School in Baswada itself. I grew up with the background of just observing my father doing his work because he is a social worker. So he leads a non-profit organization in the region and works with the tribal Adivasi families there. So from there, I initially I was a kid, but then when I grew up, then economics was not a very familiar term in that area. So people just usually complete their education from school and then they just do a degree for maybe B.Ed or just teaching training, and then they would apply for government exams and get into government teaching. So economics was not a very familiar path that yes, like I'm bound to take it. But when I was observing my father just working for the tribal populations and uh, doing some work with them, I was also growing up with observing a stark differences between the lifestyles and the way people live. So, just for perspective, Adivasi communities in the area are 85% population of the region is Adivasi, and rest is the non-Adivasi people like us. So, the living standards or the lifestyle or the income or livelihoods between these two populations are starkly different. So the Adivasi families suffer from very poor human development indicators. They are just barely surviving, struggling when their forests are going away. So this was the background I was observing. Then, I was also growing up. So I remember when I was in eighth class or maybe earlier, when Dr. Manmohan Singh was the prime minister. So we maybe fourth or fifth class. So we were sitting in auditorium in the school, and people from students from around eighth, ninth class were sitting there from first to eighth or ninth. And on the presentation screen, a picture of Dr. Manmohan Singh was displayed, and the teacher asked, "Who's this?" So surprisingly, I was the only one raising my hand. I was just a fourth class kid, but I grew up with reading newspapers or daily newspapers at my home, or always political discussions or discussions about the country, what should be done, what should not be done, what is right, what is wrong. So that was not even a question for me that who's this person, because that was Dr. Manmohan Singh. So he was from that time always an inspiration that I had a habit in my childhood. I would just Google was very early, like it was still a button phone and it was a privilege to use Google. So I used to Google the career trajectory of Manmohan Singh. Then I used to see, okay, he's an economist. He has studied from here. Then he went to abroad. Then he did this. So that was the path I was envisioning for myself. But I was still a kid, so that was not very much clear. But and then after some time, the Narega was implemented, and like I was reading newspapers. I was still a kid, but the things were changed. So I was observing the change on the ground. And these changes are like in big cities, these schemes just come and go, don't usually affect people much. But in the regions like Banswara or Pratapgarh, the small districts, the people they just change the lives of people who live there. So I was observing that change, and then this thought came to my mind that my father is working with these people for so many years, so much has been changed. But just this one scheme in one night has changed drastically so much. So the government schemes can play a big role in changing people's lives and impacting and making them for better. From there came to my mind that I want to design the policies for the government. I want to be like Manmohan Singh, who would implement these policies and change the lives of millions of people. So then I was already in class 10th and 11th. So usually in small town India or even in big town, it's just a thing that the people who are studious or who get good marks are bound to take maths and science in their 11th and 12th. So I was a meritorious student. So that was a built-in path for me by the everybody around peers and people, family. But I wanted to study economics, and economics is usually part of commerce stream or humanities stream. So we requested the principal director that I have to take math science, but I want to take economics also. So usually what happens is when you take difficult stream subjects like math science or biology or commerce or arts, then you get a choice of choosing one subject which would be very easier and would get you marks. So usually that subject is fine arts, where you just have to draw things and you would get always 95, 100 marks. Then another is physical education or IT. But I was offered
Jeet,
that if you,
I
yeah,
have to stop you.
yes,
I'm laughing because the only one subject I ever failed in my life was in younger class drawing, and I failed. The teachers got so fed up of it that one of them said, "Okay, I'll give you the exam paper in advance. You kindly practice it at home and don't fail in the final exam." But
in the drawing.
even though she gave me the question paper, I still failed in the final exam. In drawing, out of frustration, she said, "What can I do? I'm going to send you to the principal because you have failed in one subject and you have topped the class in every other subject. Now, what can we do?" I, I had to go to the principal, and the principal said, "Okay, I'll give you double the grace marks. Get out of here." So when you're saying high scoring, I'm saying, God, I can't draw a straight line without a ruler. So it depends on whom you are talking to. Okay, sorry to interrupt.
It was a nice getaway
Yeah, yeah,
from my monotonous story.
yeah.
So yeah, so then the principal and director offered that if you want to take this fifth subject, you have to take economics in place of either drawing or computer or physical education.
Hmm,
So without thinking for a moment, I said, yeah, that would be fine. I'll
hmm,
score on my own in all five subjects.
hmm.
Even though like physics, chemistry, mathematics were not the subjects I was very much interested in or was good at, or they were not like my side readings which I would do. Economics was definitely a part of that. So I said, okay. And like during those 2 years, 11th and 12th, many professors, because everybody who's taking maths and science is preparing for IIT, JEE or NEET exam also, because they either want to become engineer or doctor. So every teacher who used to teach me would say that, Jeet, you are rowing on the two boats. Your one left foot is on one and another is one. You would definitely fall after going some time. It's just a matter of time. You are just doing so much bad. Just change it. You do either e-commerce or do science. Don't just sit in both the boats. And I was like, okay, we'll see. So I was not preparing for either JEE or NEET. Then eventually I got passed in 12th. I got 97 in economics and a plus 90 plus in all other subjects. So that barrier got cleared. Now I was clear that there's not even a choice. I was clear that I want to apply to Delhi University colleges. I want to get into either D or Stephens or Hindu College, and I would complete my bachelor's in economics, and then I will go to USA, will do my master's and PhD, and everything was just so much clear in my mind. But then Dr. Shirish Joshi, who's a very dear friend of my father, and I can call him Tauji. So he lives in Pune. So he once came to home and he asked me, "So what are your plans for college?" So I said, "I'll go to DU." I was in 12th that in that time. So he said, "Have you heard about Gokhale Institute of Politics and Economics?" He said, "No, I haven't heard about it." So he said, "Okay, it's a very nice college in Pune. They always offered masters, but this is the first time they are starting their bachelor's course also. They have started this course around 20, 30 years ago. That time I had a few friends who studied bachelor's from Gokhale at that time, and they are all doing very good in their lives right now. So I would suggest go for it." So I applied to DU also, and I applied to Gokhale also. I got into all the universities of colleges of Delhi University, and I got to Gokhale also. Now again, there was a choice. So that time I talked to several people and then decided, okay, I'll go for this one. So that's how accidentally I got into Institute, and by a kind of accident. And the day I completed all my board exams. The lockdown happened, the very famous COVID batch. So the first 1.5 years of my college were at home. But I'm the person who just loves being with family and loves being at home. So that was not a problem for me at all. So we were having good time and everything was going smooth. Then after 1.5 years, Maharashtra government partially cleared the lockdown. So the university college said that now for this one semester, only people who want to come can come, and the classes would be hybrid. So would be both online and offline. So if you want to come and meet people, so just come over and you can have 1.5 years at college. So I said, okay, I would definitely go. So I packed my bags, and that was my first time going out of home to study. I was already around 19 at that time. So when I went to Pune, the college was amazing. The people were very welcoming. I got a nice paying guest accommodation also. But then after just 10 days, I was feeling so much homesick because it was my first time. I had never been out of home, out of family. So I got sick, I got fever, and the doctor admitted me in Pune for 1 or 2 days. And then I just packed my bags and came back home. So I lived in Pune for first 10 days, came back to home for 20 days, and again got back. So it was my initial time of just getting adjusted and just feeling what it feels to get out of home for the first time. After that, the Gokhale journey went very smoothly and it completed very soon. So after like when I graduated in 2023 May, and it was the November December. I thought now I should start preparing for my post graduation, which I want to do in United States. But because United States education is very expensive and you have to pay a lot, so our criteria was I would go to US only if I would get in the Ivy League universities. If I not get admission there, I won't even apply to other universities. Everybody said this is not a great idea to approach this because those universities are very hard to get accepted into. So I said, okay, if that would be the case, then we will see. So I started researching on it and then realized that no Ivy League university offers a master's in economics except Columbia. All offer just PhD. So, and PhD and like in the guidelines or requirements, they mentioned that undergrad students can also apply for PhD. That was just a criteria. I knew that the students who would be applying with me must have completed their pre-docs, their masters, a few years of experience, multiple research papers. I had none. I was just out of my undergrad in 23 and applied for all the Ivy Leagues. I took some online coaching for GRE exam. I gave the GRE exam and everything was done. After I applied everywhere in around February, the results started coming in, and I got rejection letters from each and every university. So every day I used to open my mailbox and I was like, okay, another rejection letter. Okay, another rejection letter. So that got me into a very bad phase of just self-rejection and self-doubt. That 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 was just going on. I was feeling very upset, and things were not going great. So my father connected me to a psychiatrist. So he said, just have a one call with him. So I was talking to him, and on the call, he said that he just gave me example of Amitabh Bachchan. So he said that Jeet, what have they written in their mails which they have sent you? I said they have said that we do not accept your application. So he said, do you find the difference between rejecting and not accepting? It just means that they were having different criteria. When you are not fit there, it doesn't mean that you are not eligible for them or you are not as good as them. So then he gave me an example of Amitabh Bachchan that when it's a very famous and story in Indian homes that when he gave an interview at All India Radio, they rejected him saying that his voice is not suitable for the radio and he was just shook away and very much upset and then he became what he became. So don't feel bad about it. It's just you are not fitted for them. So then I was sitting very sad in the class, and then one of my professors observed me in class. So as soon as I got out of the class, he called me. His name is Professor Miresh Seth. So he still works in Suzlon Energy, and he just came there to teach environmental economics. So he called me and asked, "What happened? Why were you sad today? I observed you in class, and you are not as active or as happy as you are always." So I said, "No, nothing happened." But he persisted to just tell me the story. I told him that I applied to these all universities and I got rejection from all of them. I'm so sad and feel like, what will I do? I don't know. And just everything which a usual teenager does after getting rejections for the first time. Because until now, I always got acceptances from wherever I applied or wherever I tried to go. This was my first time. So he said, "So why are you worrying about it? I studied from Australia, and that's an amazing place to be in. So I would suggest just go to Gokhale Institute is on BMCC Road, and there's just around 1 or 2 kilometers from it. There's a what FC Road. So on FC Road corner, there's a IDP. So this he suggested that there's a great consulting from IDP. Just go there. They will do the counseling for Australia. Even if you don't want to go to Australia or haven't decided or haven't thought about it, just go and talk to them. There's nothing is forcing you to just go and talk to them." So I was like already devastated. I was thinking that who would accept my applications now? All universities in US rejected. So what's the point of going? Then he again called me an evening. Have you went there? So I said no, not yet. So he said just go there and talk to them. I was like, okay, let's do this. So when I went there and there was a counselor named Anuradha. So she just checked all of my documents and she said, "Jeet, where do you want to apply?" I said, wherever you think, because I got rejection from all over the universities. So she suggested that, okay, we will apply to universities which are only under top 20 list in the world. And I'm sure you would get admission into all of them and we at IDP won't charge you a single penny. So we would start from today. We would give you the university shortlistings. You can tell me what universities you want to apply to. We will coordinate with the universities through the entire application process. I will waive you all the application fees for the universities also. When you get the acceptance, then paying the fees, then fine, getting you a visa, everything would be on us. We don't want to charge you a single rupee. Just tell me, and we are definitely sure that you would get admission into all of them. So that conversation was kind of a morale booster for me because I was already so much in stress about not being getting accepted. So then I applied to Australian universities, and then one by one the acceptance letters started coming, which was between last 6 months, very unusual.
Uh,
So I was thinking, okay, I got acceptance from here also, from here also. So Macquarie accepted me, University of Sydney accepted me, University of Melbourne accepted me, New South Wales accepted me, and I was thinking where to go now. So many people suggested that you are already studying finance and masters in economics and
mm,
finance.
mm,
So Sydney is the financial hub of Australia. So why
yeah.
not go there? So you would get to meet different people and you would get to do so much more.
Mm,
I said, okay, this is a good deal. So then I just completed all the formalities, applied for education loan, got that cleared, and I came to University of Sydney. So when I came here, that journey was also equally exciting. It's already until late night at your place, right?
yeah.
Okay, so when I came here, the so I applied. That was also an exciting story. So getting apartment in Sydney or getting a place for accommodation in Sydney is very difficult these days. So I applied through like I was exploring all the websites possible for this, flatmates and everything. And then at last, when I was getting very much desperate to get into it, I got into Facebook and just started scrolling the Facebook groups for accommodations in Sydney. So there I found a listing. It was amazing. It was like too good to be true. So I thought, oh wow. I started talking to them, and those people were like, okay, this is a good place, and you send the deposits, and we will send the keys to your place, and this would happen. And then they scammed me. And I realized after coming to Singapore airport that I have already been scammed by $1,500 something. I have no place to stay. So then my brother in Jaipur, my cousin, he has some business partners in Australia. So they asked me that, "Gee, don't worry, we'll do something for you." So they arranged a hotel for me for 3, 4 days where I lived in Sydney. I then when I got to airport, I was so much tense and worried. So I just forgot my handbag, which had all my documents and everything. I forgot that on the immigration counter. So once you come out of that immigration counter, then it's not possible to go there back again. And then, like, it was my first time. So on my suitcase, there was in big bold letters written my name and my father's mobile number and everything. So one Indian person who got to see that, he called my father. It was around 2:30 a.m. in India. So everybody was sleeping. It was early morning in Australia. So my father called me again and asked me, like, do you have all your luggage? And I checked and I was just, because that was my main luggage, which had all my documents and everything. So again, that was the trauma. I said no. Then I started, because it was like early morning in Australia, just 6:30 or 7 o'clock flight.
Mm,
So all the counters and shops at airports were closed that time. All the offices were closed. So I had nowhere to go to. Then just exploring through the places and everything. The another friend of my brother, Jane, she came over the airport. So I hugged her tight and I cried so much that I don't know what to do. I had all my mark sheets in that, my visa and everything. I'm just devastated. She said, "Don't worry, it's Australia. Nothing would happen to you. It's
mm,
a place of happy incidences and happy things."
mm,
So we said, okay. I started searching for it. Then at last we went to Lost and Found counter. They said that we have not received any such baggage. I said, gave them my number and asked, if you find that, please call us. And I was already planning in my head, okay, now I'll call to CBSC. I asked them to give me the new mark sheets and just thinking about that procedure. When I get back to home, like my friend's home, then we were having coffee and we got a call from airport that my baggage is, they found my baggage and they were asking for the pin to check it. Then I got some relaxation. Then I found a nice home. So that chapter was went very smooth.
Hmm.
After coming here, like for me, it was not just a college. For me, it was Sydney because I have lived in Pune, but I was first time living in a global city. So for me, I thought in my mind that to best utilize this opportunity, I have to meet as many people as I can. So I started just writing to people, writing mails every day, sending LinkedIn invites,
Hmm.
or just finding different tools
Hmm.
to get access to people's mail IDs and
Hmm.
everything.
Hmm.
So out of every 20, 30 mails, I would get two or three replies that yes, we would be happy to meet you, Jeet. So then I started that spree of just writing to so many people and then meeting people. So initially, what I did was like, I'm always a very optimistic person. So I always start from the very top. So I would open the chat GPT and ask it that this is the company, give me topmost five people in their Sydney office. That would always include a CEO. So I would write to the CEO first and then some two, three other people. And fortunately, the CEO would be the first one to reply always. And he would reply in 5 or 10 minutes, he or she, and then they would be very happy to meet me. So I got to meet the CEO of a Visa company because it's a very famous financial company in which we get our credit and debit cards. I met Visa. I got to meet multiple people in consulting firms or who are running their own public policy think tanks in Australia, some journalists, and a wide variety of people. That built my perspective, and then I started writing on LinkedIn about my meetings and encounters of about people who I meet and all of those things. So that got my meet traction, and more people started approaching me. I started meeting them also. When I was in my undergrad, I was always inspired by my professor Ashish Kulkarni. He might have been at your podcast also, I think. Yeah. So he has always been a blogger. So he excited me that blog. You should start your own newsletter, write about whatever you find catches your fancy. So when I was in my undergrad, I started my newsletter called Vision of a Youth Eye. So there I started writing about economics, then sometimes politics, then public policy. So I just got a platform to frame my own policies, which I always wanted to do from my childhood. So I just started writing about policies, and this is not bad policy. How can, and I was, because it was just my own platform, my own time. So I would think of the wildest things and how we can improve them. So once I wrote about sustainable solutions to poverty. Once I wrote that how can we make the Indira Awas Yojana, like there's a scheme in India which provides free housing to rural or urban people who are poor. So wrote about it that how can we make that scheme sustainable? How can we include livelihood in that? So how can livelihood and accommodation can be included in one scheme and how that can help people? So that was all going on. I still write on that. Just yesterday, there's a very famous Hindi podcast and newsletter called Pulyabazi. It's run by Takshila Institution in Bangalore. So they approached me, like Khyati Pathak from that podcast approached me that Jeet, would you like to write a monthly column on Pulyabazi about from just econ lessons from Jeet? So it was a very big opportunity for me because I was always thought to be a public intellectual or just share my thoughts in the public about what I think about economics, policy, politics, everything. So that's just going on. And today I'm here right now, just studying my master's, applying for jobs all over the again. Also in the dilemma: should I stay in Australia or should I go back to India? What would be better for me? Which are the sectors I should go to? So all the usual dilemmas of about to graduate students, which are going on right now. But all in all, life's going exciting. I got Professor Mathur's message on LinkedIn that the GT would like to invite you to Vidped. And luckily, just I was already listening to Vidped conversation since last 7, 8 days or a month ago. So I was already aware about this platform, and I was thinking, oh, who are these students who go to these this podcast or this video platform? And then I got that invitation, which was very exciting. So I just said yes to him without even thinking twice. So I said I have always wanted to come here, and here's my opportunity. So definitely a big yes. So now I'm here, and I think I have missed a few bits, included some, but all in all, this is my journey of coming until here.
It is a very impressive journey because, Banswara is Banswara, Sydney is Sydney.
Yes,
And we don't compare them, but we know what the differences are. Okay. Any
yes.
famous people from Banswara?
Haridev Joshi, he
Uh-huh.
has been the Chief Minister of Rajasthan 3 times.
Yes,
So he was, I guess, the only one. And fortunately, he is from the same family where I come from. So he was my father's uncle.
I see. I see. Okay.
Yeah. Uh, I don't know any other famous person from that which would be recognized.
Wasn't Hanuman Singh from Banswara? Cricket player? No.
No, like I'm not very much a cricket follower, so
Okay.
I don't know about him. But yeah, maybe.
Okay. Long ago, long ago. But no, okay. So, but I just want you to tell the people a bit about Banswara because people think Rajasthan is a desert state. So I want to
Oh,
clear that confusion. This is there's no state in India is uniform. Any large state in India is not uniform. And
yeah,
you cannot describe any state with one characteristic. And people say
yes, that
Rajasthan
is
is a
true.
desert state. I say, guys, are you out of your mind? so,
Exactly, yeah.
so why don't you tell them about Banswara?
Sure, I didn't think about it, but yeah, it's a good segue.
Yeah.
So when I went to Pune first, and whoever would ask where are you from, I would say Baswada, Rajasthan, and most of the time people don't know about Baswada. So it's a very small town. So after coming to here, I started saying I'm from Udaipur because at least people know about that city. So I would just say I'm a bit far from that. So if they would know about Udaipur, then I would say I'm from Baswada. So there's a misconception. Oh, so people would say, "Oh, you are from desert. Do you have water at your house? Do you have water in your place?" So I'm like, Baswada is called Cherrapunji of Rajasthan. So Cherrapunji is a Indian city which has the highest monsoon and rainfall in India. So Baswada is also called the city of 100 islands. So if you would see a pictures of Baswada, or you would just like be amazed that is this in the Rajasthan, because it feels like a very island kind of city which has so many river bodies and so many, always a great monsoon. It's called the mango cap. It can be a mango capital of the state because there are so many mangoes. Mangoes need like a very nice temperature and climate. So it's just opposite of what you think about Rajasthan,
yes, yes.
as I
That's,
can say in the best way.
that's what I'm saying. That people think it's the desert state, but it is not.
It is definitely not,
Yeah,
and it's unique in some features because this is a town which doesn't have a railway station.
yeah,
Airport is a very far-flung thing, but it doesn't
yeah,
even have its own railway station. So
yeah.
when we want to catch a train, we go to Ratlam. That's nearest. Like I mentioned, that Banswara shares its border with Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. So Ratlam is in Madhya Pradesh. So it's
Yes,
80 kilometers journey from Banswara.
yeah.
But it has like it in population, it is as big as any other Australian city or for that matter, a good Indian town. It has been a district headquarter for a very long time.
Yeah, yeah.
Recently, it was accepted as a division also, but it again the government changed and the politics changed. So it's again a district headquarter, but it's a town, we can say at best. But yeah, a good place to be in.
Okay.
Great weather, everything's good.
Okay. I am glad you like your hometown, but I just wanted people to understand that look,
Yeah,
everything, in India, every state has different parts, and
yes.
you
Have you
cannot
ever
just
been there
to
to
Banswara.
Banswara?
No.
Oh, okay.
I have not been to Basswater, but I know about it, no? And I know that, look, you have to convey to the people that no state in India is uniform. Every state is different. Every part of
Yes,
the state,
that's true.
every state, like if you go to Bengal and you think there's Kolkata and there's a Bengal, but then Darjeeling is part of Bengal, right?
Yes, that
Completely
is true.
different. There's no comparison at all, and so every state is different. In Maharashtra also, there's so many parts.
Yeah.
Every state has parts. Okay.
Hmm.
Anything else you want to give advice to young people, because you've come from, I don't know, what do they call it, a tier two town or a tier three town?
Maybe tier three, I guess.
Maybe
Yeah,
tier
it's a
three.
tier three town.
It's a
Yeah.
tier three town. So
Yes.
what advice do you have for people from tier three town?
Mm, I would just say, like, I don't think I have a very fancy journey to showcase or advices to give, but just like as I always do, always be very optimistic because I just read some time ago that our brain doesn't know what emotions or what thoughts we're having. It just understands words what we are saying. So even when we would say, "यार क्या हो गया," means we would be saying in a very sarcastic tone that कि ऐसा नहीं हो जाए कि मैं यहाँ फंस ही जाऊं. Like, shouldn't it happen that I would just get stuck here? We would be just saying in a very sarcastic way or a very fun way. But our brain just understands the words. So subconscious just starts processing them, and most of the time we get what we say.
Hmm,
So always be optimistic, and as I always do, always start from the top.
hmm,
So usually people don't write to CEOs; they would just start write to some people who would think that okay, they would, I think, probably accept my request, so I should just write to them. But I think that what if they say yes to it? So that's how I think. So that's what got me all the opportunities which I have gotten until now, and hoping to get just what I want to do for a large number of people. I just hope that I would be one day able to do that or get an opportunity to do that.
hmm.
That would be the second advice, that just start from the very top. When you think about it, like anyway, you are just thinking and imagining. So why think anything small? Just think the biggest possible. Another thing I would say, everything in life is just a law of large numbers. So when I would write to 10 people and nobody would write back to me, I would write to 50 people. At least two or three would write to me. So when you would just increase your sample size to a large number, then some like maybe someone just had a very nice breakfast and is very happy and he got your mail, and without thinking I would just say, yeah, I would love to do that. It happens a lot.
Okay.
So maybe that can happen with you. I am a huge believer in destiny and luck.
Oh,
So I would just say that have faith and believe. So maybe someone would have a great mood, and even though you would be have anything, but they would just say accept.
okay. All right.
So that would be my advice.
Wonderful. Okay. You've already talked about your future and so on. So I think the time has come for what I call as the final word. I give every
Okay.
speaker the final word. So what do you want to say finally at the end of it all? Conclusion.
Confusion. But I think confusion is good
Not confusion,
if it's
conclusion. Conclusion.
conclusion.
Yeah.
Uh, I would just conclude by, like, I've just said my final words already. Just have a faith and belief. So, and be optimistic always, because our brain just listens to our words. So
Mm,
when we would always say in Hindi and India, we say that there's a one moment in time in a day when Lord Saraswati comes to sit on your tongue. And at that time, whatever you would say would come true.
mm,
And we never know when that moment would come.
mm,
So is that the truth or that a mythology?
mm,
Anything it can be.
mm,
But we know that brain understands positive words.
mm.
So I would just like to say this: be
Okay.
positive and
Okay,
optimism.
Jeet. Thank you so much. It's a fascinating journey. I've had people from smaller villages also who have made their way to masters and all. But it's always good to hear somebody from Rajasthan who has come to Sydney. I have not been to Sydney, but good. So let's end it here. I want to talk to you offline. I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Till then, bye everybody.